All right. Welcome back to another aligned strategy session. So essentially in these strategy sessions, I'm talking to different business owners, people in different areas of expertise. And we're really all just talking about how we can make business and strategy and marketing feel good. Because there's all kinds of strategies, great strategies out there. But if we're going against the grain in terms of what feels good with our energy, that can really feel as drained, and that's what really leads to a lot of the overwhelm that a lot of people feel. So today we're talking about something that's super relevant to really any business owner who's juggling all the things, a lot of solopreneurs for sure. And that's really, again, using or aligning the way you work with what feels good, and specifically using systems and AI and all the fun tools to stay consistent and clear and to stay aligned. So I'm excited to have Tammy Schaefer here today. She's with Blue Butterfly Solutions. She's a virtual assistant, and she not only supports business owners in their systems, but really she takes what she's doing is she's taking tasks off of their plates so that they can feel more aligned and focus on the things in their business that lights them up. So she's doing that for her clients, but she's also really been focusing on doing that for herself too, really leaning in on AI recently and really taking some energy audits of her own work and following what lights her up and feels good. So Tammy, welcome. Let's just start with the foundation. So when you think generally about the way you work best and what feels good, what are some signs that it does feel aligned? Or on the other side, what are some signs or feelings that you have when it doesn't feel so aligned or good?
I think the biggest thing for me is when I lose track of time and, I come back and think, wow, that was really into that. It didn't feel like it's been that long. That's when I know, okay, I'm in that zone and I'm doing what just flows naturally for me. And then other times it's, I don't know, getting to the end of the day and thinking I didn't accomplish anything because all I've been doing is fighting myself all day. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, we've all had those days for sure. Not super great feeling. And yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about the way in which, losing yourself in a task is a great way to really feel into what feels good. So I love that. So if someone else was looking to okay, like an energy audit, like what does that mean? If someone else is trying to actually audit the way they work, is that something just in terms of tasks or how to actually do it? How would you advise someone to do that?
It's funny that you're asking that because I've been doing that lately. I designed a custom GPT that actually helps me audit how I work and kind of collects all that information. And it's helping me figure out exactly how to design my work days so I'm more proficient. So, and it takes the emotion out of it, which makes it, because that's where we all go. We go into our heads and we argue with ourselves. So basically, I through my human design, which I was able to get a chart thanks to you. I was able to get a basic chart that kind of gives the general idea of how I operate. And it really felt aligned. When I read it, I was like, this is me. And put that in there, plus some other strategies from books that I've read. I was able to plug that in there. So it's really giving me things based on strategies that I resonate with. And then it helps me. I just take it and plug the stuff in there that I need to do. And it kind of gives me an idea of how I should structure it for that day. And then I wrap it up at the end of the day and say, oh, this is where I'm at, and then, it always reminds me, oh, you're not behind, you're just, So, but I've noticed I've really been participating in this the last few weeks, and I've noticed I've gotten a lot more accomplished in those weeks because it helps me get out of that mindset of, oh, I messed up, and that downward spiral we can go on if we feel like we messed up and we lay in that stuff for a while. So that's just one of the strategies I've been using to kind of get me back on track quickly and back into being productive.
That's unreal. Like, that's super cool. So like, tell me an example. So if you're feeding it all the information on how you best work, how do you feel aligned in your work, and then feeding it the tasks that you need to get done. So like, give me an example of what it might spit back in terms of like a daily schedule or something like that.
Well, mine, it knows in the morning I'm a slow mover. I'm not ready to jump right in first thing in the morning. So it will actually schedule the lighter tasks for the morning. It'll spit that out and say, well, this is something it's basically saying you don't need your whole brain for this. So we could do this, this, and this. And then here's your focus between mid-morning and early afternoon. This is where we're going to do this big thing that you need to accomplish today that takes your whole brain. So it's been very helpful, and also kind of worked with my flow as far as how I set it up. Like I do checklists in Trello rather than time blocking. I know time blocking works for a lot of people. For me, having my checklist, because I got that satisfaction of checking things off that I've gotten done. So it kind of gives me those options the way I best work, if that makes sense.
Does the AI, does it feed into the Trello board?
Yeah, I can actually create and just copy and paste it right into my Trello board, the checklists. So
Yeah.
I have one designed, and then I just plug in the cards, whatever the checklists are.
That's really cool. I know you just recently got AI certified in this stuff, and it's stuff like this that is so cool, because it's not only what I like about this kind of stuff. It's not just alignment, but there's a lot of strategy and efficiency built into it, and it just hits all of it, which is really cool. Do you do this stuff for your clients as well?
I do. I haven't done as far as planning their days at this point, but that's something I would offer. But I've been helping clients with lead magnets to help grow their newsletters, their email lists. And so it helps give me strategies that are based on how they best operate. So, I mean, that's really the key for longevity, is to pick something that's going to really resonate with you. Because if it resonates with you, it'll resonate with your tribe.
Mm.
So
how do you yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, they feel that energy. So if you're fighting against yourself, it's going to be repelling.
Yeah, totally. We all feel each other's energy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So when they're deciding to hand off a newsletter or one of these tasks that you're helping them with, they're just generally feeling overwhelmed. They've done an energy audit potentially, but really, how are you helping them decide really what to delegate to you? Like, what would help them most?
I think the things that, if it drains their energy, we kind of go through, like if they're more that visionary and the big picture than the little details of, say, scheduling the newsletter or formatting it, all the little things. Like they might want to write it. I have a client, she just loves to write, but then I can be the one that puts it together and sends it out. So she doesn't have to worry about all the technical things.
Yeah, I've certainly met a ton of solopreneurs in that boat, where it's like they have the ideas, business is their baby, they are that visionary, but the nuts and bolts is where they really get stuck.
Right.
right? So like the actual emails or the funnels or like even the technology of the automations of how that works is really what you can help with a lot.
I also have them say to me, I'll have them email me or message me and say, I want to do this. Is this possible? So then I can throw that into, I've been using Perplexity a lot. They recently had a special and on their pro version. And so I can go in there and say, okay, I need to do this. How would that work? What software would I need to use? So you can kind of plug that in and figure out, okay, yes, I can do it this way. So it just saves so much time when you're able to create those strategies in that way.
Yeah, and it's also with the AI certification. I mean, you talk about Perplexity, you talked about chat, you've talked about other ones that I know too. So that's also an advantage of you're playing with all these tools, so you kind of know which tool to go to for what.
Right. Yeah, and you can tech stack them. So like in Chat GPT, you can create certain custom GPTs that are aligned with your client. And then if you put the little @ symbol and the link for that GPT, you can put it into a different one. So you can stack them and get the results you're looking for that particular client or that particular project. So it's really kind of amazing all the little things you can do with it now and the ways you can use them together, the different AIs.
Yeah, yeah, it is incredible. I imagine once you start playing with this stuff for a client and taking some of these things that don't light them up or don't feel aligned, what kind of feedback are you getting in
Yeah,
terms of?
I think I'm just beginning this right now, but like I've set up a custom chat to merge all the email lists. You know, you get those email lists from, oh, your website or, you know, a different email platform or Facebook or LinkedIn. And I was able to create, they had their lists scattered everywhere. So I was able to create one custom chat or prompt to take all of them and merge them. So in under 20 minutes, she had like 5 or 6 different lists. And we were able to do that. And that's normally a project that would take you, I know people that have spent weeks trying to merge their lists because of the way they're set up differently in the different platforms. So that's the kind of efficiency you can get with AI.
Yeah, that's super cool. I know you've talked about that before, and we'll link in the video to how people can get those custom chats if that's okay with you,
Absolutely.
and how to get in touch with you in general. But just like wrapping up, what would you say to someone who feels like, if you're talking to a client and they feel like they should work in a certain way because what they see online or whatever, but deep down they know it's not aligned for them, what would you say?
I would say I've known people that have done it their way and made it work. So like, I cannot remember the name. My daughter was following this band and they had put together these albums based on what other people were telling them would be popular. And one of the lead singer was diagnosed with throat cancer and given 6 months to live. And he just decided, okay, I'm going to do it my way. And he did end up living, and he ended up beating the cancer, but that album went off the charts crazy. So there he was, you know, he did it his way. He just thought, I have nothing to lose. And then my mentor, Belinda Sandor, who's trained a lot of virtual assistants to get out there, she was told that she couldn't do it the way she wanted to do it. And now she has this amazing community. So I think following that inner knowing that you have, that is the way you were designed, and it's the way you're going to, regardless of what people say, sometimes you just have to shut that out and think, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it. Because honestly, what do you have to lose, really? Is your business going to completely die because you didn't do it the way this one person told you to do it? Or a couple people that, it's successful for them, but if it feels ick for you, it won't work for you.
That's so true. It's so true. I've seen that so much just in my own business and my own journey too. It's kind of slapped me on the side of the head. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've gotten so into human design, is it's so validating and it can give such great direction in terms of like, yeah, that is actually what I was feeling, but I didn't feel like I had permission to do it. It gives you permission in a way. It's like, for example, when I first started, as you know, I started with a membership model. And I did that because I was really looking for, time freedom. And I did a ton of research and looked for a ton of resources. And that was kind of the way to get that, is, build this membership model. And there's lots of great ways to do it. There's tons of great memberships out there. But for me, I felt so disconnected in a way that I really just need deeper connections with people. So now I'm doing a lot more one-on-one work, and that feels just so much better to me. And then you can, it's incredible how it continues to show up. Have you experienced anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. As I'm very similar to you. I think that's why we connected. Because I definitely want to work one-on-one with people more. And I think that's part of what makes me good at what I do, because I enjoy that one-on-one connection and strategizing with somebody rather than trying to reach the masses. You might have something that does that, but if you're really focused in your zone, well, like they say, your zone of genius, and working with that, what flows for you, you just naturally are just more productive and more efficient.
Yeah. And it goes back to when you're talking about losing your time, you're losing track of time in these tasks. I know both you and I are generators,
Right.
Which that can, so we have once we are doing something that we love, we can kind of just go.
Right.
But there's nuanced in that you also mentioned in the morning are lighter in the energy. So it's like, it's not all just super straightforward. You can take one piece of the chart and just like go. It all kind of works together, but it can give you some great clues in terms of aligning energy in your business in a way that feels really good.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
All right. I think unless you have anything else to share, I think we'll just kind of wrap up there.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is what I have to share for right now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you for being here. I mean, I really just love the approach. I think, again, we have similar approaches in terms of blending strategy and energy in a way that feels really good. So if you want to learn more about Tammy and her work, all the links will be included, and you can always connect with her on LinkedIn. I know she is active there. And again, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.